All right, we are at round number 7 of the OXCR 2021 season. There you see Tony just got by me. I somehow managed to forget to turn my GoPro on before the start, which stinks because I got a hole shot this race. But we're right at the beginning of the track. We came through some little grass track section and a little wood section. Now we're up into the main woods. So that's Tony up there. He's in the senior class. He's not in the master's class. And we're working up to a couple of rocky uphills. I don't know if you noticed there in the start, but the that hard packed dirt was pretty slick. And then of course you get up into the woods and the rocks are really slick. I like this track. It's very challenging, very technical. You got to really use your clutch a lot to keep your rear wheel from spinning so much. So I kind of like to kind of bog and then just kind of, you know, slip the clutch as you're working up these hills, because once your back tire starts slipping around and you give it too much gas and you get too much rear wheel spin, you lose all your drive on this rock. Kind of like that right there. So I'm trying to sneak by here and not lose my momentum. So kind of get rolling again. There goes Chad. Chad's been riding really good lately. Normally I've been able to keep up with Chad, so either he got faster or I got slower. It's one or the other. I think he probably got a little bit faster. I know he gets to ride quite a bit. And I think he's probably getting that new 250 kind of figured out. He rode a 300 two-stroke 250 or 300 two-stroke last year, and this year he moved to that 250F Yamaha, and he's starting to ride really good. But I get a nice little passing opportunity there to get by him. Looks like that guy went down right in front of him. But yeah, these wood sections were pretty sketchy at times, because here there are rocks hidden just everywhere, and they're big enough to really kick your front end around. So like off-camber downhills like this, you know, if you're not down there in the rut, man, you got to really be careful, because you will lose your front end quick. So up here I take what I thought was the main line. So right there on the right is the good line. I did not see it my first lap. I took this dumb outside line, and it felt super slow to get up through here. Then I come around and I notice bikes going up the hill. I'm like, you gotta be kidding me. What did I miss? But of course I have an arrow there going left, so I was on the track. It's just there were alternate lines there that I didn't realize. So a couple of people got by there. I don't think that was anybody in my class though. So if you remember the video from last year, this is where I was coming up through here and got stuck behind that dumb tree that was in the middle of the track. So that didn't happen this year, thankfully. Right there, that was I'm sure anybody watching this that took that line hit that rock. There was a sharp-edged rock and a root right past it. And man, the first time I went through there and hit that, I thought, whoa! I thought I was gonna end up going down, and I think a few people probably did go down there during the race. That was a sketchy little rock hidden down inside that you really just couldn't see very well.
Whoa.
Up here, the traction was pretty good. You know, I'm just kind of trying to maintain a decent pace here. I am in first right now, but later on in the race, I'll go over this, but I thought I was in first later on too, and unbeknownst to me, Big Dave had got by me So I'll show you how that happens later. I had no idea he was in front of me because my plan at this point is just to ride a kind of a consistent pace and not push too hard unless Chris or Dave catch up to me. And so since I never seen Dave, I thought he was behind me, and it turns out that he's actually in front of me. So he ended up on the first lap. I think we'll see it later, but he ends up on the first lap. He took that creek jump and I didn't on the first lap, and I didn't think he was that close. And so I was just kind of pacing for several laps. I ran 8 laps, and for the whole middle part of the race, I was just kind of just trying to just maintain a pace because I thought those guys were behind me. I had no idea that the pace that I was maintaining was just letting Dave stay in front of me. So my fault. I probably should have just been pushing a little bit harder. But this is one of those tracks, kind of like Death Valley, where you just got to be careful how hard you push. Because again, the rocks will catch up to you. And then later on in the race, I really got messed up several times because there were bikes laying in the trail on rocky uphills. You know, they're laying right in the middle of the main line. And toward the end of the race, I think probably on lap number 7, I had to try to go off the track to get around 2 bikes that were laying in the trail. And when I got off the track, I wrecked, and it was just a nightmare, and it just killed my lap. But part of it. So here there's a lot of long rocky downhills like this. You can see they're pretty dry though. There was just enough moisture in the ground that it wasn't dusty at all. You can see that the ground isn't dusty. It's just got the tiniest bit of moisture in it, so it's almost perfect. So the rocks were just a tiny bit moist. So if you got wheel spin in the rocks, then you'd start bouncing all over the place. But yet when you hit the dirt, your bike would just launch. So back there a little bit ago, I kind of about shot off the track, and that's because I was sliding. My rear end was sliding on the rocks, and then it fell down into a rut and hooked up and like shot out from underneath me. That happened.
Come on, baby, turn.
Just about somewhere on just about every lap. It's a really off-camber turn there on the bottom of the hill, and it's kind of hard to get my bike to turn that very first lap. So Zach had a good race going here. I think that I'm not completely sure, but I think on the second lap, I think he was leading the pro class for a while. And then I think Levi got back by him, and he chased Levi for a while. At the very end of the race, he basically had the same thing happen to him that I had to me. He was running in second place, and third place was pretty close to him. And he went to go up a hill, and same deal. Somebody was laying in the track, and when he tried to go around, he ended up going down, and he gave up second place. So he ended up third in pro. And I don't think he's got any footage of this race, but we do have some footage of the last race that I don't have posted yet. Most all of the trail that we rode, we've rode in years past. There wasn't anything new this year. I think a lot of that was because we weren't supposed to be running here. We were supposed to be running at a new course, and I guess the farmer ended up putting some crops in, some kind of change or something. So this was kind of a last minute change to go here. So I think all they did was just post stuff that we've ran before, so nothing was new. But I enjoy this race. I think it's a fun race. Probably not very good on tires. Haven't really looked really close at my tires yet. I'm just about due for a new set anyway. really hot this day. And there you can see it was pretty slick too in areas. Some of this hard packed dirt, if it was in the shade where it was still moist, it was really slick on top. Fun little jump coming around this corner here later in the race. You could just, once you knew that it was there, you could really hit it really hard and shoot all the way down to the downside of that hill down there. Really hot this day, super hot, really humid, kind of hard to breathe. But it was good that a lot of the track was in the shade, so that really helps. So if you're in the shade, moving, you know, it makes it at least bearable anyway. So we're easing up to the end of the lap here. It was a short lap. I think they said like 4.5 miles or something like that. So it was pretty short. Like I said, I did 8 laps. So we're going to come up on the creek jump up here. And what you'll see is that Big Dave is right in front of me, and of course I don't know it. I think he's behind me. And so I sneak up here. Oh, actually no, this is the end of the first lap. So this is where Dave passes me. I went up this long route and he was taking the creek jump. So when I come up through here, right there, I see Chad Varney. So I think, okay, Chad got by me. No big deal, he's not in my class. But if you look up ahead, right there going through the tent, there's Dave. Never seen Dave up there going through the tent. So I think that he's behind me at this point. So again, I just think I'm just maintaining, and I think I'm just gonna, you know, ride this pace until somebody in my class catches up to me, then start to push a little bit. And this entire next lap, here's the next lap. Here's the second lap that we come through. And here's how close I'm on him, and I don't know that I'm this close to him. We're going to come up, and I'm going to take the pro line this time, but watch on the hill when I take off the jump. Here's the pro line. There's Dave right in front of me, and I never see that it's him. So again, I don't know that he's up there. I come around the corner, and he's right in front of me, but for whatever reason, since I thought everybody in my class was behind me, I wasn't paying attention to anybody in front of me. So, yeah, it is what it is, man. It's racing. So it was a fun race. I ended up third. I needed to be first, and I ended up third. So it is what it is. No excuses. Those guys ran good. Hope you enjoy the video.